1 million lives were lost in the Battle of the Somme during the First World War. The bodies of more than 72,000 Commonwealth troops were never recovered. The British artist Rob Hurd has spent 5 years creating a unique tribute to those men, a shrouded figure for each life lost. But he's only recently been to visit the battlefield itself. And our correspondent John Maguire went with him.
For the first time, the shrouds of the Somme lie here on the ground in northern France that inspired them. And for the first time, the artist working with that inspiration is here.
For 5 years I've brought the Somme to my living room, and to actually be standing on this ground it is an amazing feeling. The idea that we're standing on the soil that these men are actually in. You know, when I've dealt with it for so long, thinking about this and the idea in some way of bringing them back from here in a small way. It's so positive. It could easily, people could think it was more, but it's not. Each figure deserves.
Back home in Somerset, Rob Hurd creates each and every shroud by hand, matching them to a name from the official record of those missing at the Somme. He came up with the idea while battling depression following a car crash and seeing images of the dead and wounded returning from Afghanistan.
You ask the question, why? Why are you doing this? Why? We're self-funding, it's always been a struggle. But then days like this, you really do understand. You really do understand deep down what the point of this was. And these are just small figures. It's nothing like the real thing, obviously. But I think once you do this, you do understand what all that effort and all that time and those years was for.
Next month at Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park, there will be 72,396. The number of Commonwealth troops who died at the Somme, but whose bodies were never recovered. Their names, known to Rob, are immortalised in stone on the Thiepval Memorial.
These are obviously displayed with their comrades from their regiment, so I assume this is how they would have been on the day. They would have been next to each other.
Rob lays one last shroud, an unknown warrior, on a flag that once draped a coffin returning from Afghanistan. His is a mammoth task, creating 200 figures a day, yet another number. But his work turns these numbers into lives, giving them a human form, helping us to at least try to make sense out of so much senselessness. John Maguire, BBC News, at the Somme battlefield.